we are in a Chandumbara village, whereby we find the icon on telecommunication and Uncle Frans Ndoroma. So Uncle, it's nice that you accept us in your homestead. And when we talk about that Ndoroma, just in short, yes.
Yes, no, thank you very much for the visit. Much appreciated. Yeah, this is where we stay. Yeah, that's where we settled. But the history is long as to how we ended up here. Yeah, we after my father got married, we moved to, or they moved to Amtanga, where my father was the founder teacher of Amtanga. After he graduated or finished his teacher's diploma at Diobra, way back in those years. So myself and my sister, my elder sister, were born in Amtanga. Yeah, while my father was teaching, and my mother was helping out also with the school activities. And then after teaching there for a number of years, he then resigned from the school to take up employment somewhere in the south, in the mines. He specifically then worked at Abenap, a mine near Grootfontein. And then we then settled here in Ochanubara. Obviously, in those days, is the migratory labor. He was subject to that. And my mother and ourselves, my sister and myself, and then later the two siblings, two boys, followed. So this is how we ended up here in Ochanubara.
I just wondered, because we know Mr. Frans Ndoroma being a telecommunication, how do you end up there?
Yeah, it's a long story. It's one of those long, winding story. Well, I schooled here in the neighborhood at the school called Omege until Sub B. And then I then ended up at Tokatana, being a mission school, where I started my standard 1, which is grade 2 or grade 3 these days. So I after finishing my school at the primary school at Katana, we were given an opportunity to study at Diobra by the mission. So it's another mission school. So we were taken from Katana to another mission school at Diobra near Windhoek, near Brakwater, to be specific. After that, I went to university in Fort Hare in South Africa. And then that was 1974. And then we were obviously the year 1974, 75, 76. You probably know the history of the Soweto uprisings and the Afrikaans stories. So these universities of ours, as the Black University, were on and off because of the strikes. I then, just in short, in a short summary, in 1976, we were then driven out of Fort Hare without completing our studies. So we ended up back in Namibia. But then I had an opportunity to get vocational employment at Oranienmund.
Okay.
Oranienmund, I worked as a welfare officer there for just a short, brief period. And then eventually NAMDEP in those days was starting to give bursaries to Namibians.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on the verge of independence when the independence was imminent in 1978. I'm sure many remember that. They remember that year. Things were heating up. The pressure was mounting for Namibia to become independent. Then while there, and because of these opportunities of these bursaries, I then applied for a bursary with NAMDEP to study. And then they recommended a few subjects and few fields. So I chose to study metallurgy or mineral processing engineering. And they offered me an opportunity to study this in the UK at Leeds University. Was there for 3 years. After graduating, there was an obligation on me to work for NAMDEP for as long as I have studied, in order to obviously pay back the funds that they spent on me while studying in the UK. So I came back to work there. So as a trainee in the field of metallurgy. So then obviously I rose through the ranks. Just fast forward, rose through the ranks and ended up in the final position of assistant general manager at NAMDEP. Yeah, so I was basically second in charge of the mine. But while in 2002, Telecom or NPTH at that time was looking for an MD. So they then came to NAMDEP, job hunted me. I then eventually, after long consideration, I accepted the position, or went for interview, accepted the position, and then ended up at Telecom. That's it. That's 2002.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there then, obviously for 12 years, and left into retirement, where I am today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And being a Telecom, and because after independence or before independence, telecommunication was so difficult, and you only find those they call the we call in Uhoke.
Yes.
And only find it on the line. How was how was the impact? Was it difficult, and so how?
Yeah, no, it was not an easy one. That's why it took me a while to decide whether to go to Telecom or not.
Yeah,
I was pretty comfortable in the mining industry, and to go and manage a telecommunications company. Although I did a few courses with UNISA in the line of telecommunications, I was a bit apprehensive, saying that, am I going to do it? But I was somehow also pretty well experienced in the management levels to know that you don't have to be a specific expert in that particular field in order to to manage it. You could be managing a motor manufacturing company as long as it's a business. Yeah, because it's business. So eventually I went there. It was a steep learning curve. You had to really concentrate on everything you do. You have to read up on everything that you encounter. You have to consult. You have to on specific issues. The management is fine. That's easy because I've done a lot of management training courses while with the mines, and that's a generic training. It doesn't specify that you are being trained as a mining manager or something. But after that initial struggle, the first year, second year, it became pretty obvious that one is able to do these things. And we thanks to obviously the support of the managers that you find in the thing as the MD and the board at the time. The technicalities of it, we had proper telecommunication engineers within the business.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody knew exactly what they needed to do. We just expected them to do and carry out what they are supposed to do, and that made life easy. If you have the technical skills within the right technical skills within the business, business will go ahead. Especially when you are managing those expertise, and you just have to give them the opportunity to exercise their knowledge.
But how do you see the evolution of telecommunication? After I know Telecom was the first before MTC, and now you see the revolution now. Telecommunications become good and so on. As a founder now in telecommunication Namibia, how do you see now?
Yeah, no. I believed way back then when I came into telecom and NPTH, because I was both the manager, or no, the MD, the managing director of Telecom Namibia, and the CEO of NPTH at the same time. Yeah, because this was NPTH is the umbrella which held then NAMPOST and Telecom, and by default MTC. MTC, when I came in, was still part of Telecom, because MTC was established by Telecom Namibia. Yeah, so we at that time already we believed that the telecommunication is evolving.
Yeah,
as you said, from hockeys, those numerous, I believe, and all those telecommunications devices and technology at that time to mobility, to what we have currently, multimedia and all the other associated technologies that we are now dealing with. It's an evolution. It's an evolution. It's not as if they are separate technologies. It's just that the world is evolving, the technology is evolving, the devices that you use to communicate are evolving from being wired, as you said, there are wire lines all over, to wireless, which are these mobile devices, which were also a different device at one stage. I mean, we used to have them like bricks, big ones. Yeah, but then they evolved. They became thinner, smaller, and smarter.
it's true.
Yeah, so it's an evolution, which was obviously taking place all over the world, and because of the these seamless businesses that we are running currently, technology being developed in China will affect Namibia very quickly because of the globalization of business. So, and that's what happened. So it came from way back then when things were a bit rough. You could actually call and your neighbor could hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
to where you could call still a landline, but at least it's only you and the person at the end of the other end of the line. So to what we have currently, wireless, but it selects to go to yourself so that you are connected, even if it's through the air.
Yes. True.
So it's evolution of technology.
On the end, now we young people, especially in Namibia, this is a good opportunity. Maybe what you say on strategy of marketing and using of internet on their benefit, on the benefit of the country as well.
Yes, no, the technology has really helped a lot in terms of running a business. Things have become much easier. You can reach a lot of people. The market is seamless. You're not confined to the borders of Namibia anymore with the internet technology. So it should be much easier for young people wanting to establish their own business to promote it, because you can reach so many people at the press of a button. And suddenly you have access to so many potential customers. You just have to have the right message for them in order for them to take it up. So it has become much easier. So obviously funding is a constraint, but it has been a constraint. But with the marketing now being much easier, where you put it on WhatsApp or social media or Facebook, wherever, instantly, that hurdle is removed, because you had to pay lots of money for a small advert in the newspaper. These days, you can do it without even paying a cent.
True.
Yeah, as long as you have your own device and you have access to the internet, you can market yourself much easier. Yeah, the people just need to be ready to take the necessary risks, come up with acceptable, what we call bankable documents or business plans in order to secure funds. But once you have secured the funds, in order to get customers, clients, depending on what business you are running, it's much easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frans Ndoroma, and really, and I hope by then the telecommunication is still going to hand you, because you are still you still look young. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much for the opportunity to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're most welcome in
Yeah.
Ochanubara here.
Welcome, sir.
Yes.